Back here with more of Open Court. That was San Antonio, I believe.
Yes,
right?
It was.
The site of that slam dunk contest. And I remember working with Reggie Theus that night, and Reggie said on the air, I do not believe what I've seen. A white guy just won the slam dunk contest. And we have, you've heard this whole white men can't jump thing. So did you destroy the myth with that performance in San Antonio?
No. I mean,
it's not a myth, Ernie.
That's Steve. Steve can dunk. Steve just never had the chance.
Yeah, right.
No, I was just mentioning to Charles as that thing was rolling. Tired of seeing that here at work, but Charles had lunch that day. Charles was having lunch on the Riverwalk in San Antonio. Was obviously
he was a big fan of the Riverwalk even back then.
Yes.
Big creek, Ernie. It's a big creek.
Many years ago, and I was sitting with Charles and having lunch, and Gary Payton was there as well, and I just happened to be with my mom, my stepdad at the time, and Charles invited us over. Said, "Hey, come have lunch with us." I don't think he knew who I was. I had to reintroduce myself. And I said, "Charles, I got to go over to do the contest and stuff." I was getting up from lunch early. He goes, "Where are you going?" I said, "I got to go over and do that." So I did that. I got up. I left my mom and my stepdad with Charles. Went over to the arena at the Alamo Dome and ended up winning the dunk contest. And then saw Charles later. He goes, "I didn't know you were going to be in the dunk contest." I think he thought I was going over the ball boy the game.
Three-point shooting.
For sure the threes. Yeah, for sure the threes. So. But no, Ernie. I mean, I get asked about it often, not as often as I used to after it. But it was an exhibition, and I had just what I thought was an opportunity to have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
I ended up winning the thing, and as I've told you before, I've done something with the trophy that I don't think any other dunk champion has done with the trophy.
Very creative, I might add.
Very creative. I've turned it into a chips and dip bowl. I've shown you the photos of it. I've taken the top off, and I use it for Super Bowl parties.
Ernie, we gotta just come out and be honest here. Brent's the exception, not the rule. Okay, Brent, Rex Chapman, Tom Chambers. I mean, there's a handful of white guys who could really jump, but the vast majority of us are
More.
Yeah, me and you.
But, yeah, when you guys were growing up playing though, were there these preconceived ideas about when you're playing somebody, if you're playing a white team, you're thinking these guys
can really shoot.
These guys, but they
really
can't
shoot. They're
boy, are they fundamentally sound.
They're going to set good screens.
Really, I mean,
we're going to press them and try to turn them over.
I mean, Reg was
get it up and down
was this basically your thought process?
That's what we thought of when we played in all-white school. Oh my God, they're going to be fundamentally sound. They're going to really be shooting. We're not going to play a zone. We're going to get up on them. We're going to press and trap them. We're going to try to turn them over, make them turn their back, and steal the basketball.
And on conversely, if you played an all-black team,
got to handle the pressure. Got to handle the full court pressure and move the ball and be sound and don't turn it over. It's a dunk at the other end. I mean, it's
You get over that quick. You get over that quickly, though, Ernie, because it's like that in high school. But once you get to college, everybody
can play.
Everybody can play.
Yeah, it was different.
Like in high school, when you're better than most teams, yeah. But when you get, first of all, to the state tournament, there's some good teams in there that are white or black. There's some really good teams. But you don't really know it's a level playing field until you get to college. And then you're like, woo, John Stockley can really play.
Yeah,
exactly. Tom Chambers can really play. I mean, so you get over that quickly, to be honest with you.
And I think for us as African-American kids, we always hear that white men can't jump. First time I seen a white guy dunk and really throw it down was when Tom Chambers put his knee on Mark Jackson's chest and threw it down. When he did that, I was like, uh-oh. And then Rex Chapman would throw it down and you guys would throw it down. So, the myth is still there a little bit, but, these guys can, really, really compete.
What about Tom Gugliotta? Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
What happened? What happened on that play?
You didn't see Tom?
No,
what? Minnesota. He just went right at Charles, right at his chest.
It was a charge. They didn't call it.
You took a charge?
I did. No, they called blocking. It was a charge, really.
Oh, it was an and one? He threw it down and got an and one?
What?
Yeah. Hey, everybody talk about the time C. Webb dunked on me, which it's no big deal to get dunked on. But what's really funny about that,
You just brought it up.
well,
It's all coming to the surface.
you know, because no, but it was so funny about that play was I'm thinking to myself when we running down the court, I said, I got to foul him. So I get ready to grab him, and he wrapped that bad boy around his back, and I get nothing but air. And then right in the middle of, when I reached down and got enough air, I said, uh-oh. I said, because I said, I'm finna grab this guy. And he put that ball behind his back, and all I know, I said, I can see right now, I said, I'm in trouble now.
A fast break down to Weber. He turns. Look up behind the back. And the stuff in the back.
But Chuck, question. When they did that barbershop commercial, did he have to get clearance from you to do that commercial?
No, Nike called me. First of all, I'll tell you something funny. Like, my first couple years in the NBA, I used to always say, I ain't going to let nobody dunk on me. After you get dunked on, like, the first 10 or 15 times, they all kind of run together. You do, everybody dunks on you. It's no big deal to get dunked on. So Nike called me and says, we're going to have some fun with you. I said, cool, of course, dude. And then when I saw the commercial, I just started laughing. I did.
That commercial took, like, maybe 20 minutes. Because, you know, Nike's the best at commercials. So we go in there, it's like Joe Torre, it's a bunch of comedians there. And it's just me, Spree, and a couple guys, and they're like, just talk. And that's how it happened. We were just talking. That all was a freestyle. You know, they knew that I liked him, but he did it to himself because, you know, after I met him, after I had his poster on my wall, it's like, you can't, you know, Bruce Lee had to beat the master, so you can't beat the man and my family at the end of it. If you notice, I look up and I'm talking in the stands. I'm talking to my father. I brought all of Biltmore up there. I'm talking to my brothers, all of them, like, say something now, because they were like, Barkley gonna kill you tonight. You know? And then the playoffs, though, we paid for it. But anyway.
Hey, Bones, we saw the dunk contest, but in game, how much did you dunk in game?
Not much. A few, but not much. I mean, I was a shooter. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is that I was a shooter when I played. You know, I played a little bit of point guard at some times in my career, but you know, more often than not, I found myself getting to know every season ticket holder in the corners of most of the arenas around the NBA. Where you're like, hey, Mike, how are the kids? Oh, I got to get this one off. So, yeah, more shooting, but occasionally, you know, I'd have an opportunity on the fast break to do something and get something down, and I enjoyed that.
You see we saw what you did to Charles, but are there some guys in the league who it's more fun to dunk over than others?
No doubt.
Like who?
No doubt.
Why did everybody like to dunk on Sean Bradley so much?
Because he went for him.
Yeah, I got a nice Sean Bradley highlight reel since 15 under AAU when he was like 7'1". But because, I mean, you know, it's the same as running over a linebacker if you're a great running back, or hitting a home run off a pitcher and point. You know, I wanted to get Mutombo. I wanted to get Mark Eaton. I wanted to get, you know, every single center. Anybody taller than you.
Did you get Shaq? Never. Only been dunked on twice in 19 years. No.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
Oh,
I got the big man inside.
You know, only got dunked on by Jordan and Derek Coleman.
You look at Alonzo Mourning, Mutombo, Mark Eden, Manute Bol.
Yeah, Manute.
Patrick.
George
like
Minnesota.
those guys, people say they get dunked on. That's because
they go for it.
They go for it. Like a lot of guys get out the way. A lot of guys, I respected those guys.
Get out of the way?
A lot of guys get out the way because they don't want to be in the picture. But like you asked, the question you asked, well, anytime you dunk on one of those guys who go for everything, it's an honor.
Yeah.
You know, anytime I got Manute, I got Alonzo Mourning one time because Alonzo Mourning went after everything. I mean, he's trying to block shots in warm-ups. You know, I respected the hell out of that guy, but he's trying to block everything. But Manute and Mutombo, I don't think I ever got Mutombo, but I got Manute a couple times. But because you only gonna dunk on him 1 out of 7, 8, 10 times. So it's always good.
You know who used to go for every block in transition was Craig Elo. He'd go for it every time, and he kept getting dunked on. And finally, we said, Craig, why do you keep going for it? You're gonna end up on all these posters. He goes, it's my only chance to be on a poster. Fair enough.
Did you get any more satisfaction on layups against various defenders as opposed to others?
You know what hurt me was remember when they raised the backboard? Like when we first started in the league, the backboard was, and guys would like lay it up and slap the backboard. Then they raised the backboard and it got a little harder for me. That was a tough blow for me.
Now, what's the little one-on-one you guys got going on over here? I don't even know what this conversation's about.
As a 7'2" center, he only got dunked on twice.
Because he wasn't going for it.
I know, that's what I'm saying,
No,
Charles.
stop it.
Why you only got dunked on twice?
First of all, I'm 7th in blocks. Check it out with underdog. That's first of all. Second of all,
Underdog.
Second of all, my thing was I got to put you on your back, and I learned that from guys like you and Charles Oakley and Xavier McDaniels. Because if you let a guy dunk on you, psychologically he has the edge. But if you lay him on his back, then psychologically I got the edge. So
Who's the two guys you said?
Michael Jordan got me one time from the baseline, and Derek Coleman got me one time when he did.
Benoit Benson got you too.
No way.
And Steve,
Never.
you started
No way.
the fight right across the street when Mutombo got dunked on.
Which one?
When we was with the Bullets and we played y'all, and y'all were playing in Georgia Tech. You remember when that was going on?
Didn't that carry up the walkway?
Yeah, we fought all. Me and Steve, like, you know, because the whole thing was I came out to middle court and our team stunk in Washington. So I was like, Juwan, I'm about to dunk on Mutombo today. I'm gonna get him. No, Webb, no. So I dunk on him halftime. Steve like, that ain't nothing. You ain't. Then it was a big fight. But it's something, especially as a big man. You're taught. You know, you're being weak if you lay the ball up. You're taught every time to go down with authority, make sure the easiest shot is a dunk and those type of things. So it's the most, you know, it's the only time, it's like boxing one-on-one. It's the only time when everybody can make a jump shot. Everybody can do the body dunk on. I don't know if it's anything that demeaning. Don't take the ball out after you get dunked on is the number one.
I want to know, when you're the biggest man on the planet, as you are, Shaq, and was, who was the one guy that, other big men, I'm talking about, not guards, but was it a Mark Eaton that you wanted to dunk on? Who was the one guy you wanted to dunk on when people would be like, oh my God.
I hated all the Georgetown guys because Georgetown never recruited me in college, and I always wanted to wear those gray and black Nikes to Georgetown. Never got a pair of those, so I just hated the Georgetown guys, so I had to get them. Any guy that was enormously taller than me, like George Mirasan was what,
He dunked on you.
7'6". Stop it.
George Mirasan.
No way.
Yao.
7'6", Yao Ming, and Sean Bradley. I had to get those guys every time.